It's about making money. It's about making money, folks, okay? It doesn't matter how many little hearts you get behind your Twitter posts or how many fanfare you get from all these other, I don't even know how Instagram works. Whatever that stuff is that would fluff a person up. Those things don't matter. Making money does. Paying your bills does. Being able to eat. Taking care of your family. Paying your mortgage off. How about getting a house without a mortgage? Paying your car note off so that way you don't have to make any payments. New set of duds. Clothes. Doing something for someone that wouldn't expect it. Those types of things. That right there, that is a real motivator. But that doesn't make sense to most people. They want to hear 200R multiple trades, but you're going to learn from the secret market maker guy that used to work for XYZ Bank. And here's the proof. He's trading with nanolots. The fuck? Are you serious? And that's what's going on. That's the proof they're showing. And they're still in nanolots teaching. So I told myself when I was going to do this space, don't go off the rails. Just be polite and try to, be nice. I'm trying to be nice. But when you really look at all this bullshit that's out there, it's like, really, man? Really? Like, all the things that could be done, these are the shitheads that go out here and do this stuff. And they make it about image.
Check. What up? Oh, what up? Yeah, we're back, man. How we doing today, everybody? I see Jared, man, welcome. Jens, what up? Last stream of the year. Yes, last stream of the year, guys. Yeah, what a week it has been. Very slow for me. We'll get to that in a bit. I'll recap what my week looked like. Hopefully you guys can let me know what your week looked like. Hopefully it was a good week. What up, 17 Talks? How are we doing? Stephen, Claude, how are we doing? Hopefully OTE sees and reply to my comment today. What up, any BT Ani BT Tokon? Hopefully I spelled it right. What up? Okay, so look at it, what happened this week with DXY. I had my buys wrong yesterday, or 2 days ago actually, because I was looking for low of the week, right, on DXY on Wednesday. Unfortunately, it was exceeding the area where I wanted to buy from, right? So I took one loss at Wednesday. I don't have my buys right every week, right? Most of the time I do have it right, but this week was not the week. And then I shorted EU this today with this push up on DXY, also called out by the MMXM trader in our group. And that was my week. So one loss and one winner today. Let me know what you guys did this week, right? So only two trades this week, which is fine. 2 trades is enough, right? What up, Robert Robert? How are we doing today? I got GU long with the TAM model this week. All right, let's recap that. GU long. So you long from this for value gap, I would suppose, because that's the only entry I would see here. And that would be, oh wait, that was an 8 hour. So we have a 4 hour range here. And then these 1 hour lows. So basically you bought this area here. That's what you did, right? I think yes. That's the only one. Yes, sir. Nice. Well, that is the proper way to do it. Unfortunately, I was not looking. I mean, I was expecting GU to go to this gap, but I was not confident in longing when my entire bias for majors was lower, right? Which obviously was not occurring during the start of the week. But yeah, if I was confident that we didn't have this, right? What we're having here is all going down. And there was a clear buy side of the curve, I would have definitely took the same entry as you did. But that's actually proper. I like that. You are order pairing 1 hour ranges here into discount 4 hour key level. Draw liquidity, internal range liquidity pool. Still great. I like it. It was counter trend, yeah. But still, I mean, if you manage risk on counter trend, that's totally fine. Any Ethiopian here? I'm not sure. 0 loss, 0 win, so nothing this week for you. Othman. Your average RR, your average RR, your average RR. Like if you type it 3 more times, I will answer. I can't read it. Please type again. What's next on Euro USD? Well, the situation today, I still think based on the higher time frame, I want to see this go lower, right? Typically the day after Thanksgiving, it's a lower liquidity type of day, and doesn't mean lower volume as in that it can move a whole lot more, but I saw on my brokers today that the spread actually went from 2 to 3 pips sometimes on GU, which is not something I want to see when I'm trading, right? Because that means there's low liquidity. And for that simple reason, because I already shorted EU this morning, right? And did a 1 to 2 from the gap here. And that's basically it. Like that's it for me today. So right now I'm not really sure where it wants to go. I can frame higher as well, right? But I can frame lower, vice versa, right? So for me it's kind of difficult here. I don't really want to engage after I already took a win in London, right? If I can frame both sides, and that's what everybody should do, right? You should not frame. If you can frame both sides, you should not engage. Definitely. From where you study ICT free, from YouTube or from any mentor? Yeah, I studied most of it on YouTube. I didn't have a mentor myself. How many R did I make this month? Well, I have to check into my journal. I can't recall from memory. I'm up this month. That's what's important for me. On the current Euro USD daily chart, where would you mark the main dealing range from high to low? I'm seeing several smaller ranges within a larger range. Okay, that's a good question. Right, so it's kinda slow, right? So we're working with, these are the ranges you can mark out here, right? These are the simple ranges we can work with, right? So currently we're in premium of the last leg, which went lower, right? But we're still remaining within this initial range. So what does that mean? There's no higher time frame sponsorship right now to either go towards the lows or towards the highs, right? So it's kind of slow. Also last day of the month, right? Of the monthly candle, last day of the weekly candle as well. So in this area over here, I highly prefer to see this daily candle closure and see if we actually close below where the swing high potentially is formed, and I can expect continuation. Or if this candle closes all the way up here, that is not a good sign for lower, right? So then I have to adjust my trading plan. Because like I said, I can frame both sides, because we did close above this discount fair value gap, and it looks like we're using it as a support level for now, right? So I don't want to get too antsy into looking for more shorts just because we're in premium. That's why the candle closure is going to be very important here. And if I look at the 4-hour, the 4-hour to me looks like it looks like it wants to go lower, right? But then I look at the daily, and so we have multiple arguments for either direction, which is a problem to me, right? So I'd rather wait until I get a proper closure on the daily, and then if the 4-hour is clear as well, then I engage. That's my plan. Bro, spamming the chat as hell. Please don't spam the chat. I try to read your messages. I'm not that fast. I'm not that fast, man. Come on. Give me a little bit of time to read. Are you trading EVE with CME? Data halted? No, that's what I just said, right? I prefer to wait, and that's very important. The CME data is halted. Let's look at what Nasdaq is looking like. So this was Thanksgiving yesterday, right? Yeah, so this is Thanksgiving, so you should not trade during Thanksgiving on index funds because the stock market is closed, right? Then it will look like this. So don't trade these type of bank holidays. Now, let's say it's a bank holiday like Veterans Day or something, right? You can, because then the stock market is still open. And now we got a problem with CME, so there's a liquidity issue and their servers are frozen or whatever. I would not engage either. Right, and we already took out this high over here, the equal highs. That was the draw on liquidity for this week, right? If you guys remember from Monday's stream, I outlined this IFG here. We'll see what price does when it reaches here, and you can clearly see it started to consolidate over here, right? That's not a good sign if you want to go lower. Then in the group, we looked for buys from this fair value gap on Tuesday, and it ran all the way up until these highs up here. This is a beautiful range play as well. So if you mark out discount to premium, right? You can even take the lowest part actually over here, right? This beautiful discount fair value gap, that's where you should look for your entry model higher. Or if you use this PY, you can also enter and then you use your stop loss on the low, right? That's also a possibility. And then you aim for the high. This is 1 to 3 if you would do it on a 1 hour basis, I think, which is pretty good. 1 to 3 is perfect. But I would definitely avoid trading especially with the CME thing going on right now. Yeah, nothing much is happening on Forex either. So this is just gonna be like a little bit of a chill stream, guys, and we'll do Q&A at the end of the stream. We'll do a giveaway. So if you want to win something, a mystery gift, which is just a one-on-one with me, of course. That's the mystery. If you love to have one-on-one education, this is the chance for a giveaway, right? So we'll do a free one-on-one call, and we'll see who gets picked at the end of the stream. But for now, I think Forex is... I don't think it will do much. I think it will just hang around. I don't think there's going to be massive moves. If it does, it's going to be a surprise for me. I don't think it should, but you never know, of course. Is Forex different on bank holidays? Depends, because it depends on what kind of bank holiday we're talking about, right? If it's Christmas, of course, you don't want to trade Forex either, right? But the essence is that if the stock market is closed, right, we don't want to trade, because euro is also traded on futures, right? You have euro futures, pound futures, oil futures, gold futures. Those are all exchanged on the CME. And if the stock market is closed, we really don't want to look at it, in my opinion. How was the last one-on-one call? Oh, I have that on Wednesday. We had to set a date first. So upcoming Wednesday, I have the one-on-one with Marco, the guy who won the first one. Did you only watch core content on YouTube or also the private contents? The core content wasn't on YouTube back in my day, so that was actually private content back when I studied. So I guess, yeah, private contents. I studied some charter content and 2017 commentaries, right? There's a lot of gems in there as well. A lot of renting, but also a lot of gems, right? So definitely advise watching commentaries if you got your hands on them. What do they mean? CME frozen? I mean that they have issues with their data servers, so the servers are messing up or something. I guess that's why it's frozen. Yeah. Yeah. But what are you guys thinking? Let me know in the chat right now. What do you guys think about GU? Do you think we're gonna respect this fair value gap here and we should continue lower? Or is this actually the low risk buy in a market maker buy model? What are you guys thinking? I want to see you guys' opinion on this chart here. Which broker do you use for your personal account? IC Markets. A lot of ICT renting? Doesn't sound like him. Yeah. And there are gems in the rents, so you should not skip the rents if you're studying ICT, in my opinion. You gotta embrace it. Did you study ICT after 2022 mentorship? I studied 2022, but anything after that, I didn't bother because I had a working model. And this is the thing with information overload, right? You guys don't want to put too much information in your brain because that causes analysis paralysis, right? And we don't want that. We want to have a simple system. When you spot it, it's easy to execute. When it's easy to execute, psychology will be better as well because you're not doubting yourself. And the more information you start adding, the more difficult it becomes to execute. We don't want that. We want to have simple, clear, high confidence. We don't want to think through too long. If you have to look at the chart for more than like 2 minutes, when you're looking for a proper entry or what the market profile is, it's probably not that good, right? Because when I start and I look at the chart, I look at it and I instantly know, okay, this looks like it's gonna go higher, and this is the POI where I want to engage from. This is where I'm gonna order pair. These lows are good to order pair, right? For example, if you're looking for buys, if I can see that straight up within the first minute of looking at the chart, it's not that clean, right? So I had a bearish draw liquidity on EU, but if inverse the fair value gap, I'll be looking for higher prices. Yeah, I think the best thing is to wait for today because I can see the 4 hour actually tumbling down. And I really, really hope it does. Like I hope it does. Because I want to go down to these lows. Wait, this is GU, by the way. But same thing for EU. Like there's a bunch of low resistance lows. The only issue is that this liquidity sweep here makes this area higher resistance, right? So this can still hold for a bullish range. That's why I prefer to wait for today and see how this area over here develops. And then we'll have a clear idea of what's going on. But I do still prefer lower. Like that's definitely, I don't know. I prefer lower more than higher. Expecting longs from the zones in GU. Okay, see. Low risk buy, bullish GU, bearish PD array, all arrays are violated. Okay, let's look at that on the daily. Okay, so but you're looking at this here, right? The issue I'm having here, right, is because this is the last swing. Let me reverse that. Right, so this is the, it could even go here, by the way, like that would be pretty high. I wouldn't expect that, but let's say we respect this, right, and then we drop back down into discount. Are we then violating premium arrays or bearish arrays, or are we running buy stops on a daily time frame into a key level and then we're expanding lower again, right? So this area is going to be key, and definitely I will switch bias as well. Let's say we close above this fair value gap. I'm probably going to look to trade higher, and this is actually turning into a market maker buy model, right? So I'm definitely fluid and flexible in what I want to do. I would advise as well, like take it day by day. Like not every day is going to be a bullish candle if the market is bullish, right? There's going to be retracements as well. There's going to be consolidation happening. These are all scenarios that could happen. So definitely be aware where you are in the range relative or what just happened during the week, right? Do we currently have a swing point for daily sell in euro? Weekly S&T is on the highs. I mean, it depends on how this weekly candle closes, but if you look at DXY as well, right, we're in this 2 down close candles. There's no reason for price to go below this area here, otherwise it will just go for all these lows, right? So definitely how it behaves on this OB here after it respected this bullish fair value gap, that's gonna be interesting, right? And it's probably gonna be an inside bar, and the next weekly candle I assume will be a lot bigger, because typically when you have an inside bar, the next weekly candle is a pretty good expansion. You can see it here as well. This inside bar here happened over here. There's actually 2 inside bars, right? And the next one is a big expansion taking out the highs. So I'm definitely expecting that as well for upcoming December, right? We have a new monthly candle. Depends on how the monthly closes, honestly. Like, and I'm not expecting it to tag the fair value gap here, but you never know. It highly depends on how the weekly candle, where the weekly candle closes, in my opinion. And also, every time when you guys, if you are in doubt, right, just sit on your hands and journal what is developing on the chart itself. There's nobody forcing you to take a setup, right? Don't get induced by social media. If you see other people winning, you always focus on yourself, not on other people. Greetings from the Netherlands. What up, Honey Badger? Welkom bij de stream. De Nederlandse stream. Good to see. I see a lot of Dutch guys, by the way. Like in my group, I have a couple of Dutch guys as well. It's pretty cool. Meeting people all over the world. And from my own country. Wow. How do you not hesitate to change buys? I have a hard time to change it. Well, typically when I change buys, it's the moment I get stopped out once. Then I reevaluate and let the candle play out. And if I reevaluate after that candle closure on the daily, right? Then I can switch buys, because if it still closes, let's say I'm selling, right, and it still closes favorable for shorts, I might have been too early and I got caught up in a liquidity run, right? That's a possibility. But if you actually see daily PDRAs and 4-hour structure working against you, that's the moment you should flip your bias, right? From where can I find ICT commentaries to find gems you talk about? I think on Telegram there's like a Telegram group. I'm not sure what the name is, but they have all the ICT commentaries. I think maybe if you just type in ICT commentaries or something on Telegram, you should find it. Well, the chat is going so fast, man. I'm trying to read everything, guys, so bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah. See what gold is doing. This is insane. I hate this asset so much. I think they halted gold trading as well this week or today because of the CME stuff. Well, the way the daily is developing, it might still go for all-time highs. But yeah, there's a reason I don't trade this asset. Like, I'm way more accurate on majors, and this is something you guys also should do, right? If you have a high proven win rate or high, you're correct on the bias more often than not on one single asset, you should focus on that, because it's better to be a master of one thing, right? A specialist. That's what you want to be. Did you trade UCAT? No, man. I don't trade UCAT. No, I hate that asset. Canadian dollar sucks, man. Thanks for these live sessions this month. I was able to understand more about the order flow because of you. Let's go, man. Goth Ame, welcome to the stream and thank you for joining every live stream. Yeah, reconnecting with the YouTube community, right? I know a lot of you guys are also from Telegram or Discord or Instagram, right? If you're not following me on socials, by the way, the links are in the description, right? I'm more active on Twitter, I would say. And next year, I'm gonna put out a lot of content. So weekly videos, that's gonna be on the schedule. Probably gonna do every Sunday. There's gonna be a backtesting session. I know most of the people who are actually subscribed to the channel are subscribed because of the backtesting sessions and the simulations. So I want to focus more on that. And obviously, when I pull out some big payouts or something, right, I will do review videos. So that's on the schedule. Hopefully you guys will stick around and watch that as well. Hey Tom, I cleared, funded twice, bought new account in drawdown in phase 2 now. I got overconfident and I'm kind of fucked up. Any tips? Well, you have a journal, I suppose. I suppose you have a journal. And overconfidence is not a good thing in trading. Being confident is good, but overconfident is not good, right? So go back into your journal and there's a pattern in your losing trades right there because probably you're entering too early on your trades or you are too married to your daily bias, right? And then you think you're taking a time frame alignment model entry, but you're against order flow, right? Please read my chat. Okay, I'm reading your chat. November 18, Tuesday, you took a trade on the 4 hour. My question is, why don't you take the trade on the 1 a.m. candle closer? Because this candle also took the previous candle high and the rejecting from the daily IFEG. 18th November. Okay. On Euro USD, I suppose. That's typically the only thing I trade. 18th of November. Oh, was it let me see. I think it was this drop, right? That's what you're referring to. This is from, yep. So this is from the trade I called out in my Discord, the short from the 4 hour OB. Yeah, that's the trade you're talking about, right? So because I shorted here, this was my my trade, right? This one. Stop loss here, and then 1 to 2. I think it was even 1 to 3 almost. So this was the trade setup, right? And then your question was, why don't you trade on the 1 a.m. candle closer? Because this candle also took previous candle high. Let's go back to that. Closer to 1 a.m. You mean this candle? The 2 a.m. candle? I mean, this is a 4 hour play. This is not a 1 hour stop loss like I'm putting it up here or up here, you know? It was a 4 hour play, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean actually. Hello OTE, I have a request. Can you record that one-on-one and put it on YouTube? I don't think I will. I think doing one-on-ones is private, right? And the stuff I discussed there is tailored personally, so I don't wanna put that on YouTube if you don't mind. Huge insight. Thanks for the insight. No problem, sir. I am long on EU. Can you take a look? Why? Okay, here. Why are you long on EU? What is your thought process here, right? And then walk me through in the chat. Walk me through your daily perspective, right? Why you think it should go higher? talk about the weekly profile as well, and what kind of structure we're working with, what we're working with here, right? And then we'll evaluate. You stop journaling when you got a payout. Well, there's your mistake, because you cannot track back anymore what you did wrong, right? Okay, show us how do you do journal. Watch my latest YouTube video, Yank, and that's actually how I explain how to backtest. But that is also what you can use to journal. All those points I talk about at that piece of video, all the points I'm marking out there, that's what you can use in your journal as well. Check 18 November, 1 a.m. 4-hour candle. But what is the question? I don't understand, my friend. What are you asking? Because I entered based on this PD array here, right? Oops. Go back. No. I entered based on this PD array here. Stop loss above the high because there was SMT on the high. SMT on the highs creates strong highs, okay? Use SMT. Do you have a Notion template for journal? I think we have in our Discord we have an entire template, but I'm not sure. I don't really use Notion for journaling. What time you enter EU? It was like 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. Yeah, here like 12 a.m. because I can't disclose why. But if you can figure it out over here, that's something you guys can backtest. Figure out over here why this range held, right? And then you will understand why we didn't go above daily opening price, right? Or not much at all. That's a very good something you guys can backtest. But yeah, basically this, and that's in and out, like that's it. My cam went off. Oh shit, what the hell? Guys, what's happening? I think my battery is dead. Okay, let me get another battery. Give me 1 second. What the hell? Battery died. Be right back. Okay. For fuck's sake. Okay. Put a new battery in. Let's see if it works. Hopefully it works. I think it works. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, so my battery died. That was it. Okay, let me get back to the chat. Sorry, guys. Accu is dood, yes. Did you enter short on EU right now? No. No, I'm waiting for the daily closure. Daily closure. Pointed out 2 dealing ranges on EU daily time frame. Which one do you regard as the major dealing range and why? Right, so we're still in this one here. This is where the last leg down happened, and we didn't form any higher high or any lower low, right? So we're still stuck in this range here. That's the major range we're working with. Hopefully that answers your question. After you caps lock question me. Shit, man. So many caps locks. Why won't you tell us why price won't manipulate above or below opening? Because if you find it out yourself, you will find it out. It's not that difficult why it didn't go above here, right? If you find it out yourself, you will never forget it, right? If I spoon feed every single thing, you're gonna second guess yourself. Because I had a lot of epiphanies on my own without somebody explaining it to me, and now I cannot ever forget them. They're burned into my brain, right? You provide one-on-ones in the Discord? No, I do not. I rarely do a one-on-one. On 18 November, 1 AM 4-hour candles also took the previous 4-hour candle high and closed below. Also formed a 4-hour B. Why don't you take that? Don't take the trade from that OB. You mean this one? You could. But I was already in from this one, so I'm not gonna stack entries if this looks like it's... And this one didn't close below, by the way. This closed within the candle. I'm not sure if you're seeing how it closed below. Because this is not... It didn't close below, right? It closed below after it dropped. Right? So this did not close below. Right? So this was the valid one. That's why I took this one and not this one. And yes, it closed below the body. But I prefer if it closes entirely over the entire candle. That's my preferred way to use it, right? Do you use OTE levels for entry? I use premium and discount. Not so much OTE levels per se, but if it lines up with the POI, if it's on the 70 line, I definitely prefer to use that POI. So if there's multiple fair value gaps and one is on the 62 level and one is on the 70 level, I prefer to use the one on the 70 level. Considering joining your community next month, is there any prerequisite course I should go through or that will be part of the community access? The only thing you need to do is study ICT 2022 mentorship and core content. But 2022 mentorship is like the minimum you should do, right? But for the rest, it doesn't require anything else. So you understand the basics, right? And that will be beneficial because otherwise you wouldn't be able to follow along. We're not like a beginner level Discord, right? You have to have like a solid basis. And if you want to become more advanced, then you join up, right? So we're not teaching you what a fair value gap is or whatever. That's all that kind of stuff. You should know that right before you join. There's SMT on the high for the weaker pair. Do you place your stop loss above the SMT high or the CSD high? I'd prefer to use SMT highs. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the response. No problem. I tried to go through the question as fast as possible, by the way. Right? Okay, by the way, now that we're here, right? Let me see. See if we can put this on the screen. Okay. Hopefully it fits on the screen. So a lot of people were asking me to join the community, right? And if there's a Black Friday sale, we never do sales because we don't feel like it. We provide enough value, in my opinion. But we're gonna do one time. We're gonna do a sale, which is 30% off. So it's gonna be a lot, right? So 30% discount code, which is LOCBF, right? So if you're interested in joining, and this works only for the 3-month package, right? And it's valid until the 1st of December, right? So if those guys who wanted to join, this is the code, you get 30% off. Yeah, that's basically it. So let me just put that in the corner. Whoa. I think this is good. 30%. Yep. Right. So that's just in between. I wanted you guys to let you know that that's going on right now until 1st of December. Do you trade differently from the MMXM trader? No, on Forex we basically almost trade the same way. The difference is he scalps more on futures than I do because I only trade Forex, right? And in my opinion, you should not scalp Forex. I don't think that's sensible. Lower EU is what my analysis is saying. What do you think? I want that as well, but today there's low liquidity, right? And I will wait for daily candle closure, but I'm expecting this to be the swing high within this major range that is formed, and I want to see continuation lower. That's what I want to see with the next monthly candle. Because this weekly candle is probably going to be an inside bar, right? So there's no sponsorship for higher either. And I want to order pair the high to the low, right? That's what I want to do, ideally. So I hope it develops. And this looks very probable to me. Because there's no sponsorship for higher either on the weekly time frame. 4-hour structure does not look that good for higher either. Now let's say today we close above this candle, for example, right? Yes, then it's going to go bullish, right? We're not going to look for sells then if it closes above here. That makes no sense. But if it respects this and starts to close bearish or even goes sideways over here, it's way more likely that price will drop lower. Fills up this fair value gap first of all, and then goes towards the original thesis, what was this market maker sell model, right? But we had SMT on these lows, so this move up is totally valid based on that precedent of SMT. I'm on an 8-hour chart. Yikes. Do you guys even use like 8-hour or 6-hour charts? I'm interested. Because I don't use that at all. Like I don't use 6-hour, 7-hour, 11 hours or whatever. Why shouldn't we scalp Forex? Well, first of all, it depends on the broker, obviously, but commissions are extremely high. And if liquidity is low, the spreads are going to be way different than if you trade futures. All futures brokers have the same price level. They don't have spread. They give the accurate data feed, right? And you never know with brokers if you scalp and there's like a 2-3 pip like spread going on all of a sudden and it takes out your stop loss or whatever. If you trade with like 2-3 pip stop loss, makes no sense. Man, what a year it has been, guys. Like, this is crazy. I think I leveled up every year, if I remember correctly. Every year I've been making like steps up, right? And the only thing that I need to do is stay consistent with acquiring more capital and not more trades, obviously. That's the thing, right? No, you don't need more trades or more percentages. You need more capital, right? So slowly accumulate more capital. And yeah, man, I'm so excited for 2026 as well, man. I don't know about you guys, but every year gets better for me at least. So if I just stick with the process, and the process is so important. Because if you rush it, it doesn't make sense. If you rush it, you're not gonna improve. You're just focusing on money instead of perfecting the craft, right? Can you please share the losing trade on Wednesday? Yeah, of course, man. Let me do it on this one, clean chart, right? So what my idea was, right? We had S&P on these highs here, right? The weekly profile, in my opinion, because for me this is a consolidation, right? So I'm expecting an AMD, right? So an accumulation, manipulation higher, and then a sell-off later. I typically wait for 4 hour to CSD before I want to look for shorts when I'm working with a weekly profile. So when Wednesday created the high here and turned and closed below these candles here, right? First of all, for me, this was valid for an OB because there was SMT and it displaced on the lower time frame. We closed below the previous 4 hour candle, right? So I was thinking this is going to go into an expansion phase lower, right? So what I basically did, let me see, where was it? Was it over here? 15 minutes. Yeah, so over here, right? We had this gap over here, so I entered in premium of this gap. I put my stop loss on the high as well, because that's where the SMT high was formed. And then I was aiming for the lows, right? So for me, this was reversal, consolidation, expansion, and then I was expecting a retracement. Now the thing here, in hindsight, obviously, we already tapped this discount for value gap, right? It would have been way better if I looked to short before it hit this gap, right? Because this is actual discount level where price could reverse from. So that's the only improvement I would make about that analysis. And I was wrong about the high of the week, right? So then you take a loss. That's how it goes. And anybody who says they don't take a loss, they are lying. Everybody takes losses, right? So that was basically my entire process here. Didn't work out, right? Then later in the week, today, obviously we caught a sell from the fair value gap here. And that's basically the week. Like one loser, one winner. The winner is always greater than the loser. I can take 2 losses during the week and have 1 winner, and then I'm break even, right? Because I trade 2R most of the time. Closer to 2.5 R most of the time, actually. But 2 Rs for me, that's solid. So yeah, only 2 setups this week. Not too much. Try to stay conservative when I'm not 100% sure what's going on. After I take a loss for sure, right? And skip Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving was a skip. And then trade today. That was the whole idea. Do you think a rate cut in December makes it interesting to trade the month? We'll see just about how you have to pay attention to the daily candles. If the daily candles look like they're not willing to trade anywhere, I would just avoid. You are up 1%, not break even with 2R. Did I say I was break even? Yes, I'm up a little bit, like 1R. Excuse me if I said break even, but yeah, up 1R. So 1 loss, 1 win. That's not break even. Unless it was a 1-to-1, of course. So yeah. 18 November, 1 AM, 4 hour candle. You are checking 19th November. Okay, let me go back to that. We're stuck with this 4 hour candle, man. Okay, so the 1 AM on 18th. But this one didn't close below it either. Like, it didn't close below, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. This also looks like a consolidation, which I would not count this as a CSDOB because it didn't take any liquidity. It's going sideways, right? Here it actually goes lower, right? And then retraces back into it. So this is more valid than this candle here. So that's the difference in this candle opposed to the candle after it. You took the same loss on Wednesday? Well, that's good. We're doing the same thing. If you're doing the same thing as me, it will work out for you in the long run. If you stick to proper risk management, of course, and not be an idiot with overtrading. That's basically what most people people's account get killed by overtrading. GBP cat was worth if you check once. Okay, let's see. Or a short, I guess, right? Okay, so let's look at the weekly candle. Because the weekly tapped into this fair value gap on the weekly and daily with an inside bar yesterday because of Thanksgiving. I mean, it's in premium. We took out these highs. Let's look at the 4 hour. It's kind of messy, I'm not gonna lie. But probably you could have traded the 4 hour retracement outside of the kill zone, but you have to use a wide stop loss. So you had to have like a stop loss like this. So it would be 1-to-1 here. Because I would not trust to trade anything in here. Because it could have just go sideways and then go up again, right? And then on the 1 hour. Yeah, so basically the entry happened actually outside of the kill zone, right? Or it's 4 AM actually. So that's just barely inside of it. But this fair value gap, yeah, it was proper. I wouldn't not put it on this high though. I would still put it like somewhere over here. That's like almost 2R here. So if it dropped a little bit further, then it would be 2R. Yeah, I would say that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Yeah. Check DXY monthly chart. It looks bearish. I mean, here's the thing, right? We're accumulating sort of below an old low in discount. So there is something like that's called offset distribution or accumulation, right? Which is it piles up more buy orders below old lows and then it moves out of it, right? That is the thing that could happen over here. That's why it's going to be interesting to see where this monthly candle is going to close, right? And the weekly does not look bearish here. It looks like it's going up, right? So for me, it's not really interesting to know if the monthly candle goes bearish or bullish. I will try to focus on what will the next daily candle and what will the next weekly candle do, right? That's for me, that's more important. And if the daily and weekly are not showing lower prices yet, it might do it later in the month and the monthly can still go bearish, right? But I would always stick with what the next daily candle is going to do. And the monthly is not that interesting for me. What's the reason for the shorts today? Weekly profile, Thursday high of the week. So it's basically, you could call it the TGIF, I guess. And we're deep inside of the weekly OB on DXY, so we're expecting at the minimum a retracement higher, right? So you could call it a TGIF trade. I would still prefer if this goes way lower though, but yeah, we'll see how it closes after today. So I'm going to be flexible. If it shows bullish signs, I will try to long next week. If it closes properly for bearish, I will look for shorter, for lower, obviously. But today, I don't think much will happen based on the volume and liquidity that is lacking. I see 4 hour time frame alignment model from Wednesday high to low, order pairing 1 hour previous daily high. Is that a valid time frame alignment model? Wednesday's high to low. So you're looking for this high. I mean, you're using probably this low, right? It's I wouldn't really, no, I don't really like that. No, because there's nothing to order pair here for a long entry, right? That's the issue here. The low is low? You mean this one? Nah, we're just inside of this range. I don't like that. Oh, you're looking for shorts. Okay, I see. Well, it could work out definitely, but it's the end of the week, so I'm not in a rush to take anything here. We already took a winner in London, closed it below this low. That's it for me today. And Nasdaq is not doing much, right? Because of the CME. Yeah, you should avoid Nasdaq today. Is the order pair concept in core content? Yes. Bonds had tried SMT. What are your thoughts? I'm not really focused on bonds, honestly. I'm just going with the structure on majors and DXY, and that's what I'm gonna go with. I miss too many trades if I focus too much on the bonds. Okay, I think it's time for let's do the giveaway, right? So I have you guys type in a word in the chat, and then I'll pick a random person, and then that will be the one. Let's see if I can make like a text. What will be the word? Let's do. Type in DXY, right? And I will pick a random. Winner. Type in DXY, DXY, DXY. Only once, please. Give it a minute so everybody can type. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and just pick one. See if I can do like this in the screen. I will stop. Okay, who are you? Okay, you are the winner of today. Hey, it's Bran. Are you in the chat? Make sure to hit me up on Discord if you can. Are you here? Yes, sir. Okay, man. Are you in our free Discord? Make sure to hit me up. You can see me as the owner of the Discord in the Discord. Then message me, and we'll plan a one-on-one. Right, man. Well, where did it go? I'm over here. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining all the live streams during this month. Yeah, I had fun doing it. I'm catching up with you guys again, right? It's almost the end of the year. Review everything you did this year. You are doing great. Don't stop. Never give up, right? Keep going, just like I do. And yeah, for the guys who want to join with the Black Friday discount is LOCBF. You can use the code on the 3-month package. We'll see you guys in there if you want to join, of course. It's a one-time code, valid till 1st of December. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for joining, and see you later.